out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. 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 I am a lucky one.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir.
And it's Monday, the 15th day of June 2026. I hope your morning is going well wherever you are listening from, whether at home, on your workplace already, on your way to work, in school, at your place of business, or just taking a quiet moment to listen. Now, the Speed Lane is where we talk about issues that affect our lives, our communities, and even our society at large. You know, things we see in our homes, workplaces, schools, and communities that shape how we live with one another. And today's focus is something most people would recognize immediately, and even if they don't always admit it, it's something we all have seen. And in fact, at some point in life, many people may have even done it themselves, and that is eye service. Now, when we talk about eye service, we are referring to situations where people only do the right thing when they know they are being watched, when someone is actually watching. For example, you see an employee who appears relaxed or less active when supervisors are not around, but the moment the boss steps in, everything changes. They suddenly become very busy, very serious, and very focused. You see a student who may be distracted or noisy in class, but the moment a teacher walks in, there is immediate silence. Even walks by. You come to a class. It starts from children, actually. You come to a class and you tell them, okay, do not make noise, do not do this, I don't want to see anybody doing this. And the moment you leave, it goes back to normal. And the moment someone spots that teacher coming back, and all of a sudden everyone is quiet again. You also see children who may ignore instructions at home, but the moment a parent enters the room, they quickly rush to complete the chores or behave properly. And sometimes, some of them maybe it's something that they might not even want to do, but at that moment they are just trying to, let me look like the good one, like I want to look better than my siblings, or whatever reasons that they have. In some cases, even in public service, you find that offices or institutions suddenly become very efficient when there is an inspection or an important visitor. And sometimes even public spaces or environments appear more clean and organized only when people are expecting an official visit. Not just those places, even in our homes. Some people fail to even sweep their homes, but when there is a visitor, that is when they take the broom and then decide to clean. Eye service. So that is what we are going to be talking about it today, because many people will agree it does exist. Have we normalized a way of living where people only do what is right when there is an audience, watching them? Only when somebody is watching, and then the moment the person is not there, everything will just go back to maybe being scattered, being all organized, things like that. So that is what we are going to talk about today on the Speed Lane Eye Service. Now, you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and we are talking about eye service this morning on the Speed Lane. And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say on our topic of discussion this morning. We are talking about eye service. Why do people only do the right thing when they are being watched? Why do they only feel the need to actually do something correctly? It's not like they don't know the right thing to do. Some persons actually know. In fact, most people, when it comes to eye service, everyone knows the right thing to do, but then they are only going to do it when they are being watched. And the moment the person that is watching them just leaves, then they go back to doing something that is not okay or something that is wrong. So Felicity, you know what eye service means, right?
Yes, I know what.
Have you ever done eye service before?
No, I would like to.
No,
think
Felicity.
not. I
No.
would like to think not.
You would like to think not, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe, who knows, right? Maybe that is not the case. So why do you think that people, engage in eye service in the first place?
I'll first of all say that maybe it's because they want to look good. They want to be seen as, okay, I'm a good person. I do this thing. I always do the right thing. So I'll first of all say that they want to look good in front of other people. And another thing I would say is the desire to avoid consequences, because one reason is people are motivated by consequences rather than, let me say, principles, because they only do the right thing because they are scared of punishment or criticism or embarrassment or losing opportunities. So the people tend to only do the right thing when they are under supervision, because they are scared of the consequences of not doing that thing when they are being supervised. And then people care about their reputation. They want to be seen as, okay, I'm a good. I even said it the first time. They want to be seen as, I'm a good person. They don't want anybody to look at them as, okay, this person is not like this. He doesn't do the right thing. Even when he's being watched, he'll still not do it. So they just want to be seen as the honest person, the responsible person, the disciplined person.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir.
And we are talking about eye service. Why do people only do the right thing when they are being watched? When someone is watching, that is when your little child at home, that is when he or she wants to go and do the chores. That is when your employee at work, that is when he or she wants to go and do what they are supposed to do. Why is that the case? Why not just do the right thing or what that you're expected to do? Now, you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
Call in and let us hear from you. We are talking about eye service, and it's possible most people have actually experienced this. Maybe you've seen someone do it, or you yourself, sometimes you found yourself maybe wanting to even doing it, not just even wanting to do that eye service, because it happens to different people. Some people do it, some persons maybe sometimes people even know that this person is just doing eye service, like they know that this is the case, but then somehow we just allow it to happen. So why do people actually only do the right thing when they are being watched? And just like you said, fear of punishments, like maybe someone is going to punish me. In reality, I just want to lazy about, but then I want to avoid the punishment as well. And also this one of looking good, like somebody knows that I'm like they are a very mean person, or they are someone who is maybe would not on a normal day be doing something like this, would not on a normal day be dashing people money. But the moment other people are involved and you want to show that, oh, you're a person who gives, you're a person who does this, and then you find that person maybe dashing money, or doing something unusual simply because they are trying to
impress other people,
just for the camera or for an audience to actually see. Now, Felicity, have you ever seen where somebody did eye service? You said your own self, you have not done eye service.
I would like to think I've not done it.
You'd
before.
like to think.
Yes.
So have you seen someone else, I ever experienced a situation where someone was doing eye service and it was actually obvious that this is what that person was doing?
Yes, I have. So there was a time where we were together at home. I'll use my family as an because it was my sister that was doing it anyways. So we're at home together, and everywhere we had not done our chores as of yet, but everybody was so relaxed about it because, well, it was not really pressing at the time. So we're just sitting around and lazing about and gisting and all of that. So our parents were not around, and when they got back home, my sister stood up and started doing the chores. So it now looked like she was trying to make us the bad people.
Exactly.
Like we are the ones that are being lazy, and she's not lazy, she's doing the right thing now, so that our parents will see. And they even saw it and they spoke about it. Look at your sister doing the right thing, you people cannot be like her. Meanwhile, when they were not around, we were all sitting there and we were all lazing about and gisting. But when they came, she stood up to do her own chores and left us to be the bad people. Yes.
Okay, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir.
and we are talking about eye service. Now, you also can call in and be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
We talked about fear of punishments, like not getting punished and even trying to look good, even trying to, fear of losing opportunities, fear of maybe even jobs or even privileges, some of these things, lack of self-discipline, doing things, just for our appearance rather than our conviction. And there is also something, this mindset of if nobody is watching, then it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Like if nobody is watching, if nothing is happening, then it doesn't actually matter. Those are the kind of things that we actually see. Now, where do we see this eye service? We have been mentioning it, and one of them clearly from what you have made mention of in the home, right?
Yes.
In home. So where else can we actually see some of this eye service? People doing that happen.
We can see it even in schools, because like an example that I gave earlier, you said when a teacher comes to the class and says stop making noise, the students are making noise, and he says stop making noise, and then he go, and while he's there everyone is quiet, but when the moment he steps out, the noise will continue, and when we see him again, the noise will stop again. So even in schools, even in churches, because most times we see there are certain people even in religious places, in churches, who do not, who do not do the things that
maybe
they are supposed to do.
Some people even go to church because that's not for everyone. If you know that you are that kind yourself, then you know exactly what we are talking about. That is not for everyone. There are some persons who go there simply because they are trying to show to others. Let them not say I did not go to church. I've heard people say that, several times. Let them not say I didn't go to church, or let somebody not say it's just for the eyes. That okay, this is what I'm expected to do, or this is what I want to. Sometimes maybe it's not even something that maybe you will get punished for. Not like you're getting that physical punishment from anybody, but then there is this need, or there is this want for someone to want to portray like, I want to look like this someone who goes to church, even though I am not going there, with what a lot of persons will call church mind.
And even when it has to do with doing church duties, let me say like cleaning the church, for example. Most people only clean the church when there are people there to watch or people there to supervise. When other people are doing it, they will not do it, especially if they are not under supervision. But the moment that somebody is there to watch, or somebody is there, even if it's not to supervise them, somebody is just there, then they will start doing it because they want to be seen as, okay, she's a good person, okay, she does this thing in the church.
Okay, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir,
and we are talking about eye service. Why do people only do the right thing when they are being watched? Why not just do the right thing even when someone is not watching, even when someone is not there? Why do people hardly do the right thing when they are not being watched? Now, you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook or even leave a comment if you have something to say on our topic of discussion this morning. We are talking about eye service. If you have had that experience yourself, you can share with us. If you have seen someone even do it, or maybe and you are able to catch on to, you just know that this one is eye service, or you yourself, if you find yourself in that place, more, you can even tell us. Now, sometimes even in public places, public places, just that we're talking about different places that this eye service actually happens, right? Even in public places, maybe even government institutions, different places of work, different things like that eye service happens. It's only sometimes only when an inspection is about to happen, that is when people know that, we are supposed to do this. No, you don't know that these officials are coming to inspect, and then we should do this, we should hurry up and then do something. And sometimes you find people maybe even sweeping the dirt under the carpet. Hello. Okay, you can still call us back. Keep trying, and just maybe you will catch up with us on 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
It's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir.
And we are talking about eye service. Tell us where you have seen eye service. Tell us why you think that people even engage in that in the first place. If you yourself are guilty, we want to hear from you on 0807 773 3336. And Felicity, we were talking about, professional workplaces, like only when there is an inspection. And then that reminds me actually of when we were in school, and then there were time, maybe hostels weren't as clean and anything like that. It's only when they are coming for inspection, and then we had to win a prize, the cleanest class is going to,
the cleanest hostel,
is going to win a prize, is going to do this. And that's when you see people here and there, trying to, all the things that maybe every single day they say clean your hostels, clean your classes, but people would ignore that until that day. Like, we want to make sure that this is in place, but people won't do that until that day. When you know that they're about to maybe do the inspection. That is when people will go about, okay, we want to do this. And another place is social media, a very powerful one. I wonder how come you don't think of that one. Social media, a very powerful one. People presenting a different image when others are watching, like the image that are presented. Sometimes we hear of different things, like, oh, I met this person in reality, and I got to find out that, okay, this influencer or this person, this is her actual behavior, or this is the kind of person that she is. But that's not the kind of person that she shows us online. And then I don't know if you've seen some of these videos or some of these things that will pretend to help someone. I've seen a story like that. Maybe they pretend to help someone, give them, oh, we are giving you some of this amount, because these days we have a lot of people doing social media charity, but not everyone is actually real. For some, it's just the eye service, because I saw one online, when it was later revealed that she was just given, the woman was just given that amount of money, and then later on the money was taken from her, and just giving
the money on camera.
Exactly. And she was just given maybe part of, just take this one. You know how that kind of agreements, like, I'm going to come to you and we'll pretend like we gave you this amount of money, so later on we are going to collect the money back and then give something to you like this. So different places, even online, that people are a lot on these days, this eye service be happening. So you also can call in and be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and we are talking about eye service. Call in and be part of the show, and we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. We are talking about eye service, so let us hear from you. And another thing is like community activities, even neighborhood responsibilities. I want to show that I am doing this, so that when something comes, then maybe I'll be the one to actually get it, or I'll be the one who will be more at an advantage. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yes, because so many people don't only do things because if this opportunity comes, if there's any opportunity that something will be given to somebody, they are going to call me out to give it to me, because I'm a responsible person, I'm a trustworthy person, and all of that.
Okay. And some of these things actually have like consequences, maybe ones that people fail to talk about, or people fail to realize, because sometimes someone even does eye service. Look at the example we gave about maybe even an employee doing eye service, for something maybe that's supposed to even develop, for something for that organization, for something for that organization. So that's like putting the entire maybe thing that maybe a business or an organization is putting out there, just maybe not doing the right thing, just showcasing that you are doing the right thing. So what happens when one of those things that were not rightly done actually maybe falls or leads to the fall of the entire place? Because sometimes most of the times actually it involves even other people. So what happens when that entire organization or that entire business actually starts to face the consequence of what one person, was doing eye service. And sometimes it's not just one person that does eye service.
Yes.
An entire school can be doing eye service, can be saying, this is how we treat our children, this is what we do. But then you go into that school and that is not, they are not doing what they are preaching about. So you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
This is a speed lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir,
and we are talking about eye service. So you can call in and be part of the show, or watch us live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi, and even leave a comment if you have something to say, because we are talking about eye service, one that many people have seen, some people have witnessed, some people have even done it themselves. Where have you seen it happen? And then hello. All right, you can still call us back and be part of this conversation on 0807 773 3336 and tell us about eye service, what you have witnessed, what you have seen somebody do, and sometimes how you think it actually affects. Because if you're able to witness maybe something happen and then there were like real-time consequences, then you are able to know that, okay, this is why this is bad. So why is eye service bad? How does it actually affect even individuals, even up to society, different organizations? Let us talk about that right now, because we have been talking about different places that the eye service actually happens, right? So now let's go to that part of it. Let us hear you, Felicity, first.
On the effects of eye service, right? I'll first of all say that it's going to damage trust, because when people see that someone only performs or does the right thing under supervision, they are not going to trust the person anymore. They are going to start questioning the person's reliability. And then trust is only built when people know that even without being watched, you are going to still do the right thing. So it's going to damage trust. People are not going to trust you anymore if you are somebody that does eye service very well. And another thing is, it's going to limit personal growth, because people who rely on supervision often don't develop that self-discipline to actually do something even without being watched. So instead of being motivated by responsibility or values and all of that, they are only motivated by being watched. And as a result,
when somebody's watching, we have
and
to
as
do
a
it.
result, they are going to they may struggle with when they are given that independence, because on your own you cannot do the right things, only when somebody is watching. So it's definitely going to limit your personal growth.
So before you go on, I'll still give more example of that. So imagine like a school, right? And maybe you are asked to study, you're asked to maybe even read your book. So that is just a very simple example that can be applied even elsewhere. You are asked to maybe study, you're asked to read your book, and just so you're going to maybe pass the exam, and then you are not reading. Only when you see that teacher, you carry your book hurriedly and then put it in front of you and then try to like pretend, that eye service, that you are actually reading, like you are actually doing some serious work. And at the end of the day, guess who is going to fail that exam? Guess whose growth is limited? Just like you said, you're the person who is actually going to maybe fail that exam, who is actually maybe going to lose whatever it is that was involved in the first place. So yes, for that effect or consequence that you mentioned, that is a practical example that I actually thought of when you mentioned. So you can go on. And
there's another example that I have, but it's not exactly limited to personal growth. It just came to my head. For example, when we were in school and a teacher tells us to stop making noise when we're making noise, and then the teacher goes, like you said, it's not some people are actually going to decide to actually stop making noise, but then there's this particular group who are always who do not always listen. So they're going to keep making noise, and when the teacher comes back, he or she usually flog all of us in that class, because to them it's everybody that was making noise if you do not listen. So yes.
All right. So you also can call in and be part of this conversation. And the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this morning on the show, we are talking about eye service. Why people actually do that in the first place, how it can affect us, going forward, the different places that people actually do this whole eye service, and then just go on with it and what it can actually do to us. Because to be honest, some people don't know that maybe they are doing something to their own self. Maybe it's going to affect them. They just think that I successfully deceived this person, or I successfully,
Yes.
because eye service, to me, let's call it what it, that's pretense, or should I say even deception,
Yes, yes.
and it just depends on the severity, like what situation that someone is doing it in, that the consequences even get tougher. So imagine maybe deceiving your own self and then feeling like I was able to fool the other person. That's actually funny, because you're deceiving yourself and then thinking that you have been able to fool someone else. So let's go on with how you think that this eye service, actually affects us.
So I would also say that in a workplace, if you are the kind of person who do not work except under supervision, it's going to limit the kind of opportunities that you will get.
Okay.
Because if your supervisor or your boss sees that you are a kind of person who doesn't work unless you are being supervised, they are not going to give opportunities to you anymore, because to them you are a very dishonest person. And people need this thing, that thought that, okay, this person is actually going to be doing the right thing even when I am not around. So if you are only doing the right thing when you are being supervised, then your boss or your supervisor is not actually going to give you any opportunity, because or even opportunity to represent. Or for instance, if your boss is going out for a work trip or something like that, and they need somebody to step up into that role, you are not going to even be given that role, because you only do things when you are being supervised. And
now I would say that is when you're caught in that eye
Right.
service, like
Yes.
when they have caught onto the fact that this person is actually this one is just pretending, or this one is just doing eye service. But on the other hand, like if they do not catch onto it, it's still on your own. So one person is going to have to maybe reap those consequences, because maybe even if your own boss doesn't catch up to like what you are doing, then it's going to show in the results that you people are getting from maybe the work you're doing. Like for instance, they come on and then they see that, oh, this person is always working, how come this person is always sweeping here? Then how come, like whenever I visit, like the place is still dusty, or the place is still like this, but then she's always on that spot, like doing hard work and then doing all of this stuff. But then whenever I visit, the place is always the same. So for that one of that opportunity, I think is when they catch on to it, like when somebody is able. Have you ever caught someone doing eye service, like yourself? Because I asked you if you've experienced, you say yes, but like did you catch someone and then know that this person was doing eye service?
yes, because like sometimes even my friends do eye service from time to time. Yes, so I know that what you are doing is eye service. Sometimes we even jokingly say what you are doing is eye service. Say you know.
Okay.
Yes, so yes, I've caught people doing eye
All
service.
right.
before.
And before we go on, you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
It's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir.
and we are talking about eye service. How does it actually affect us? You can call in and be part of the show. So even before you continue, Felicity, there's something else, problems hidden instead of being solved, problems even instead of being solved. Because sometimes imagine this thing that will make a joke about maybe sweeping, and then maybe someone asks you to sweep, your mom asks you to sweep, and then you sweep all the dirt under the carpet. Like, I don't know, people make a joke about that thing a lot, but that's also part of eye service. And then it happens with bigger situations, like you just sweep the whole dirt, like under the carpet, under the chair, exactly, so that they don't notice that, okay, they just come and then see that the whole place is clean, but then something could actually be rotting, under that rug, under that chair that you're just sweeping and then gathering there. So a problem that would have been solved is not then solved. Like, it keeps growing and growing. It's becoming even worse because it wasn't attended to, right? For instance, maybe in an organization, in a government institution, when something, that was supposed to have been done for a long time was not done, then it becomes even a bigger problem to actually solve. So that is also one of it that I would like to mention. So if you have more, you can mention, Felicity.
I will only add one because remember what you're saying about even a school, because even a school can actually does eye service, and even society. So imagine if a society is only doing the right thing when they are being watched. It's going to affect the entire society at large, because let me say everybody is going to be seeing someone from that place as you are a dishonest person, and if you are actually being caught, that's if other people actually realize that you do eye service, it's going to become a society where the entire place is, there's dishonesty, there's carelessness, and all of that.
Okay, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir,
and we are talking about eye service. Now, you also can call in and be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
Call in and let us hear from you. And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. If you've witnessed eye service, or you yourself as someone who engages, or you yourself have done eye service. You know, Felicity said she would not like to think that about her own self, but then if you are someone who have been there before, you can also tell us about it. And we have been talking about how that actually affects us, you know, how it actually affects even people personally, and even when it comes to organizations, even when it comes to home, because sometimes even your little children, you're wondering, where did they learn this one from? How did they learn that? It's only when I come back that they are going to stand up and then do some of these things, you know. How did they learn that? I just have to do it. Sometimes you know that, okay, that is something right to do, and that has made people become reliant on, it's just for praises, like I'm doing something good just for praises. Like I don't think that maybe this is something that is necessary, simply because I want mommy to say, oh, good boy, oh, good girl, this person, this organization is working really hard, this community leader is working really hard, this minister is working really hard. You know, different places, different organizations, different people, at different levels where this eye service happens. So now what can we actually do? Because if we say that something affects people individually, even affects us, you know, in communities, workplaces, and even as a society, you know, as whole, then what can we actually do? What is the way forward, you know, out of this? Like, what can we do going forward for people who have ears to actually hear? Let's hear you, Felicity.
The first thing I would say is we should start teaching character very early, because like we have been saying here, it actually starts from small. So children should not just be taught that it's important to do things when you are being watched, but it should be taught why it is important to do things without being watched at all. Why does honesty matter? Why does responsibility matter? Why does self-discipline matter? So it should be taught right from small, because we grow up with these things. Even when you are doing something, when you are small, everybody sees it as, she's just a kid. He or she is just a kid. But we all grow up with these things. So we should be taught these things when we are small.
And to add to that, I would say, instead of like, if you don't sweep this place, I'm going to punish you. Like, if you don't sweep this place, it's going to be dirty, and it's going to like the place is not going to be healthy for us to stay. And what I mean by that is, like, instead of attaching like a punishment to it, then people should actually know the consequence, you know, for not doing that thing. Because instead of just looking at it as long as the person is not available to punish me, then it's fine, they should actually be able to like recognize the consequence themselves, you know. Because if someone knows that, oh, if I don't sweep this place, then our home is going to keep, you know, getting dusty, getting dirty to the point where we can no longer live in it, then they know the actual consequence, and not just as long as the person is not there to punish me. Because if you're no more as a parent, then does that mean that that child will live in that place, you know, and end up even harming themselves in that environment that is dirty, simply because there is no one to actually punish them for that again? So go on.
And another thing I would say is we should all encourage self-accountability. People should learn to ask themselves in every situation, like, is this the right thing to do? Would I still do this even if nobody knew? And why do I need to do this? We should all be able to hold ourselves accountable for all our actions. And then it's also important to reward integrity, not just results. Because we all tend to just reward, but when we come to a particular place and then we see that, okay, this space is neat, we just go ahead to reward the result, because it's the result that we are seeing. But if we all reward integrity, because integrity is the ability to do something with when you are not being do the right thing, when you are not being watched. So we should all learn to reward integrity, not just results. And then another thing is to lead by example.
Okay.
Because even we as adults, we also do a lot of things. We also do this eye service thing. So it's very important to lead by example, because when you lead by example, people that are people that are behind you are going to see, and they are also going to learn. Yes.
And that is something that most people fail to understand. Like the children, they know that this one is eye service and this one is mommy's true character.
Yes.
You saying that leading by
Yes.
example, they know that this one is mommy's true character and this one is eye service. Even in that workplaces, they know that those workplaces, they know that, okay, this is how my boss truly is, and this one is just eye service. This is how this community leader truly is, and this one that they are doing is just eye service. So they are looking at when I climb up to that place as well, when I become that place, as well, when I get to this position, this is what I am actually going to be doing. So this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I am your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and we have been talking about eye service, and we would soon call it in the end, for the show this morning. But you can still call in quickly if you can reach us. Then the number for you to call is 0807 Speed FM.
That's 0807 773 3336.
So Felicity, would you say that society would actually function better if people did the right thing, whether they are being watched or not?
Yes, I would say that society would function better, because it's very important to do the right thing. So it's very important as a society to do the right thing, whether you are being watched or not, because it's actually going to grow with you. If you do not do the right thing, if maybe you are just seeing it as it's a small thing, but you just find yourself doing it every single time. So it's very important to do the right thing, whether you are being watched or you are not being watched, because it's going to develop into a character or a behavior.
And I also think that there will be less, corruption and then dishonesty, and workplaces will have even more genuine productivity. Schools would have better discipline and responsibility, not just the ones that are telling the parents or people outside that this is what we do in the school, or we are taking our children to actually do this in the school, and then when you come inside, it's something else. Even public services will become more efficient and then consistent. Communities will become safer when we have people that are actually protecting. Let's say, for instance, there is one example that I forgot to actually mention. When we have maybe we have security guards that are actually looking after the place. We have vigilantes that are actually looking after the place, that have been put, in their the responsibility have been put on them. They are actually doing the work and not just working for a little bit. Or we heard, the supervisor is coming today, the inspector is coming today, and then we have to be outside so that they can see that we are actually doing the work, forgetting that they put you there because the safety of the people involved actually matters.
Yes.
And when it is not taken as a priority, then it becomes the consequences become clear. You're wondering, how did this thing happen in a community where there are people like this who are put in place? We have put this security to actually do this for us, and then something like this is actually happening in this community. People ask questions like that, and then so slowly those things that you have been trying to hide with eye service, it actually comes to light. So while the society, the community, the people involved actually face those consequences, even you yourself, your own reputation is going to the mud, right?
Yes.
So that is it for the Speed Lane this morning. We have been talking about eye service, why people even do that in the first place, how it can actually affect us, and what we can do better going forward. And I've been your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I've been here with
Felicity Girgir.
And also coming up next at 10 a.m. after the news is King James 90s Top 10, right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And until then, keep enjoying music of your life, and also don't forget to remember that doing the right thing only when one is watched, it actually does have consequences that would show even now or later.
Hello, my Cootie. Asking Radio is here.